you are a business owner and you're thinking of what can I do right now to, number one, to not feel like a piece of crap right now with what's going on, right? Is what can I do right now so that I don't feel like I'm always in a reactive mode? Things have changed so much, like the way we do business, the way, the consumer behavior alone changed so much over the last couple of months. So it's understandable to feel sadness and feel slightly worried. But like I said last week, we need to allow ourselves to feel those emotions. That's the healthy thing. We cannot just ignore that we are sad or worried or fearful, but it's one thing to honor and respect those emotions. It's another thing to dwell in them. Train your mind, train yourself to bounce back. Don't dwell in the negative, because it's not going to be productive for you. It's not going to be healthy for you psychologically and mentally and emotionally. It's not healthy for you to dwell in the negative and get all stressed out, right? Start creating something useful. Start creating something that will be that will contribute something of great value to the world. Start creating something that you can be proud of, that you know you did your part with the little amount of time that was given to you, right? Is to invest in your own growth. Make sure that as you are stuck at home, you are still learning. You are still investing in your own growth and education. So how about building up on whatever skills that you already have, working on improving your skills, or trying to learn new skills, right? So another one is invest in your relationships. And this is not just relationships with your customers or relationships with your team members, but most importantly, relationship with your family members or your loved ones. It's important that you continue to nurture your relationships with your customers and your team members, because they need to be reassured right now, because of what's going on, that their value to you goes beyond the revenue that they are bringing into your business, right? After this is all over, they will be the ones who will voluntarily promote your business to other people, because they know you as a person now. They have seen you, how you have conducted your business and how you have treated them as human beings in the midst of crisis, and they know that they can vouch for your character. And that's the best promo of all. That's the best advertisement of all, right? That you can ever get from anyone. You also need to invest in your relationships with your family members, with your loved ones, because they are your best support system. So do not neglect your relationship with them. It's easy to be triggered. I know this because I've seen this on social media, how some parents would be like, I'm always like being bugged by my kids. And you know what? Instead of focusing on that and being triggered by that, be thankful that they are there. You know they are safe. They are with you. Would you rather that not to be the case? Would you rather to be in the position of wondering where your kids are, or wondering whether they are safe or not? So just put that in perspective, right? You also need to not neglect your relationship with yourself. Yeah, you and your business are not two separate entities, right? You are your business. You are your brand. Do not neglect the importance of nurturing a healthy, positive, and loving relationship with yourself, especially during these times, because as a business owner, you would be tempted around these times to blame yourself for a lot of things, for things that you have not accomplished in your business, for things that you probably feel like you have fallen short of, your standards you have set for yourself, and you feel like you've fallen short of that standard. So you will be tempted to blame yourself for those things. You will be tempted to carry the burden of guilt that you were never meant to carry in the first place. For example, if you really had to come to a decision of laying off your employees, the burden of guilt, I can understand that. And also to call yourself a failure. I've heard that a lot of times from fellow entrepreneurs, that they feel such a failure. Remember that failure is not a person, right? So do not attach your identity to that event. It's an occurrence. So learn to detach yourself from the word failure. Okay, just because you were not able to meet a certain goal, or you were not able to get the result that you have been working so hard for, does not mean you are a failure as a person or as a business owner. Those are two separate things. This is where self-compassion would play a crucial role in your life as a business owner. You need to be able to look beyond the adversity and see the opportunity. You need to train your mind to look past the obstacle and see what lies ahead. See the positive in the negative. And this is something that is within your control. What's happening to us externally is not within our control for the most part. But what happens to us internally, that is within our control. The thoughts that you entertain in your head, that is within your control. The reactions or the way you respond to your circumstances, to your experiences, that is within your control. The words that will come out of your mouth, that is within your control. How you choose to respond to your emotions, that is within your control. The emotions itself, sometimes you can control it, like what type of emotion would surface for you, but how you use that emotion and how you respond to that emotion, that is within your control. You need to focus on the things that you can control and let go of your attachment to the things that are beyond your control. Right? There are many things that we cannot control right now, but what you have control over, you need to work on improving that or managing it, right? So the resources that you have right now, time, money, whatever resources you have right now, how do you spend those resources is also within your control. So stop wasting those resources. Your most important resource that we do not have a lot of is time. So be wise in how you use the resources that you were given right now. This crisis, this pandemic is just a reminder of what we have always already known, that tomorrow is never promised to any of us. Tomorrow is never a guarantee. So yes, we will be taking one day at a time, and we need to be okay with that. We need to just have that resolve that we will approach every day, one day at a time as it comes. But even though we will be taking things one day at a time, we need to be showing up every day with everything we've got. We need to make that commitment right now to show up every day with everything we've got. We need to show up every day with willingness to accept what life has to give to us that day, but also with giving everything that we have. And what do I mean by everything we've got? Everything. That means all of the resources that we have, all of the gifts that God gave us, all of the love and the hope and the faith and the strength that we have. That is how you actually defeat this crisis. We will always find ways to make life beautiful again, to make life worth living again. Despite the fact that there are so many things we cannot do anymore, we can only talk to certain friends or loved ones digitally, virtually, and not be able to hug them, not be able to smile at people because we have this mask covering half of our faces. Regardless of those things that we are just now realizing, how important they are, but still, imagine how much worse it would be if we didn't have the internet. How much worse it would be if we didn't have technology right now. So we are still blessed in so many different ways. So we need to remain thankful, remember all of the things that we do have, and not focus on the things that we no longer have or we are no longer able to enjoy, but focus on the things that we still have and make the most of that. We still have technology. We still have the capability of communicating with someone from the other side of the world, right? So how do you make the most of that? Make sure that whenever you get in touch with someone, that you are communicating uplifting messages, instead of focusing on what you didn't do or what you failed to do, or whatever criticisms that we're dying to tell them. How about tell them how much they are missed, how much they're loved, how valuable and how much you appreciate them. How about telling them that You believe in them. You believe in their capacity as a human being to rise above the challenges that they're facing. How about you separate yourself from your misery, from your own challenges right now, and focus on how you can encourage someone else who might be a little bit in a worse position than you are. Let's think of ways that we can continue to uplift one another and encourage one another. And if there are ways or opportunities for you to share, not just your tangible resources, but share whatever you can share. You can share your skills, you can share insights, you can share wisdom, you can share your presence, share your, even if it's just virtual presence, you can share your attention, your time with someone in whatever ways that you can share something. You can share a portion of your heart, a portion of yourself with someone. That would make a lasting impact. And that is, my friend, investing for the long term. I hope that you have found this valuable and helpful, especially if you are a business owner. If you have questions, you can drop them in the comments below, or you can shoot me a private message. I would be more than happy to answer whatever questions you might have.